I swore an oath to uphold the Constitution when I joined ICE on August 1st, 2021, as an assistant chief counsel. I followed that oath for 4.5 years, working side by side with ICE officers. And I followed it when I resigned on February 13th, 2026, a little over a week ago, so that I could speak to you today. For the last 5 months, I watched ICE dismantle the training program, cutting 240 hours of vital classes from a 584-hour program. Classes that teach the Constitution, our legal system, firearms training, the use of force, lawful arrests, proper detention, and the limits of officers' authority. ICE is teaching cadets to violate the Constitution. And they were attempting to cloak it in secrecy by demanding that I lie about it.
It's Ken Harbaugh with the MeidasTouch Network. The dam is going to break. It starts like this, with a single leak, one brave individual willing to tell the truth. It will grow as more people speak out. Some of them will be compelled by their consciences. Others may see the writing on the wall, which says consequences are coming. Eventually, that trickle of leaks will turn into a river, then a flood, and the dam will crack. When Democrats regain the House in November, these shadow hearings, and that's what you just saw, these unofficial hearings will become inquiries with the full force of America's legislative branch behind them. I asked Kris Goldsmith, Army vet and founder of Veterans Fighting Fascism, to weigh in. Before we get into it, I just want to say to any ICE or CBP agent watching, if you are considering defecting, there's still time to do the right thing. If you ever took your oath to the Constitution seriously, uphold it now. Tell the truth. Ryan Schwank, for doing what he just did, will be remembered as a hero. Once this awful moment in America's history is behind us, when we've had time to account for and reckon with what our government has done, the whistleblowers, the truth tellers, will be remembered as heroes. There's still time. Be like Ryan. Here's my conversation with Kris Goldsmith. Kris, thanks for joining me today. I'm sure you've seen the testimony by former ICE attorney Ryan Schwank, who blew the whistle on illegal activities by ICE, illegal activities that he was ordered to participate in. I sure hope this is the beginning of a flood of this kind of thing. But what did you make of Ryan Schwank's testimony before Congress?
I thought that the testimony was extremely devastating. And what people should understand is what this was a shadow hearing. The Republicans do not want to hear this, so they are not holding proper oversight committee hearings. Instead, the Democrats are having to reserve rooms, basically get C-SPAN to record what is officially, a meeting, not a full hearing, because that's the only way that Americans are going to hear the truth.
That's bananas. And it's another indictment of just how, I was going to say asleep at the wheel. It's not that. The Republican caucus is complicit in the crimes of this administration, from Epstein to warrantless invasions of homes. I'm trying to get inside the head of a Republican member of Congress now to understand what they think this is going to lead to. I mean, they are underwater in every poll on this. November is going to turn into a massive tsunami. Who are they answering to? It's clearly not the American people.
Well, they are, living in an ecosystem. They are a product of an information ecosystem that insulates them from any criticism. One thing that Donald Trump has succeeded in training the Republicans is if you just yell louder, the problems seem to just roll off of your back. And now not everybody is as resistant to trouble as Teflon Don, who, has never faced consequences for virtually anything he's ever done. These Republicans are hoping that as long as Donald Trump remains in power, that they can benefit from that. But the problem is that our democracy is not gone yet. We still are going to have elections. Those elections, though Trump may try to interfere, are very likely going to be safe, and they are going to be absolutely devastating for the Republicans. So the testimony that we witnessed today, I think a year from now, we're going to be seeing a whole lot more, because a lot of folks who you know, for reasons of self-preservation. Like they don't want to lose their jobs. They don't want their families to be completely screwed over, to be just pushed out of a government position is not a small thing, right? I think that next year, when whistleblower protections are held, you know, up by the majority of Democrats in office, I think we're going to be seeing a lot more testimonies like this.
It's Ken with a quick break to tell you about my Substack page, where you'll find bonus episodes and other exclusive content. And subscribing is a way to support this show directly without us having to rely on advertisers. For those of you who have signed up, thank you so much. It is growing harder and harder to rely on traditional media. Just look at what has happened over at CBS. So independent news is going to have to make up the gap. And if you believe in what we're trying to do here in the interviews and the commentary that this show brings you, please consider pitching in. It's free to sign up, and that itself is helpful because popular shows get recommended even more people. And if you're able to afford a paid subscription, they start at $8 a month. Every dollar goes back into what we're doing. Thanks for helping out. It's incumbent upon us to drive this point home for anyone listening, for an ICE agent or a loved one, a family member, a child, a spouse. Whistleblower protections cover your communications with members of Congress. The only exception is within the intelligence community. You have to go through, I believe, your ombudsman first. But if you're an ICE agent who is seeing the kinds of things that Ryan Schwenk saw, you can talk to any member of Congress. You should start with the nearest Democratic member of Congress, because I wouldn't trust the Republicans as far as I could throw them these days. And you can begin now to blow the whistle on what you know is wrong, what you know are violations of the rights of Americans that you swore to support and defend, that you swore to uphold. Kris, I want to ask you about that information ecosystem you alluded to, because you spend more time in the right-wing information cesspit than anybody I know. And I think it's probably difficult for a lot of viewers of this show to understand how you could be a Republican member of Congress and not know what's happening, not know just how unpopular the Trump administration's tactics are, not realize that the wearing of masks is an affront to everything that we were taught to believe about law enforcement and justice for all. And that when a Republican senator literally compares ICE agents, we'll flash this tweet up on the screen, compares ICE agents wearing masks to cartel members in Mexico as if he's somehow flexing. How is this information ecosystem in which they swim so hermetically sealed? How is it possible that the truth of what's happening in the streets at a place like Minneapolis can't get through to them?
Human beings seek out confirmation bias. It makes us feel good. It makes us feel comfortable to not have our beliefs challenged. It reinforces our sense of safety. And no one feels more unsafe than a MAGA Republican. It's why they are MAGA Republicans, because they're constantly scared of everything that they don't understand, and they don't understand shit. Now, the point about Mexico is actually, this is an important thing about the cartels in Mexico, because we just saw the president of Mexico execute a mission against the most powerful cartel in Mexico. They cut the head off the snake. And there were reprisal killings right away. There was chaos throughout a lot of Mexico. And we have talked just a few weeks ago about how Trump wanted to put American boots on the ground. And we said that one of the problems with this, as much as cartels are a major problem that needs to be addressed, is when you go kinetic like that, the reprisal killings will cross the border. Violence doesn't stay where you put it. Now, one of the things that the Trump information ecosystem believes is that ICE is not going out and stealing moms out of minivans as they're waiting for their kids outside of elementary schools. They think that they're fighting cartels. They really truly believe that the only people getting arrested are the worst of the worst.
Yeah. That
So
2-year-old cartel member in the concentration camp, right?
Yeah. So the Fox News, and everything on the right ecosystem has been reinforcing this point that they are fighting cartels, and that therefore these law enforcement, these civil law enforcement officers who I don't believe should carry guns in the first place, need to wear masks as they go out and enforce the civil law. But that is not the case. The vast majority of people that are getting picked up by ICE do not have any criminal history whatsoever. They are contributing members of society, of their communities. And to treat them like this has been incredibly destructive. It has made Americans less safe. And it's made our economy, nationwide and especially locally in places like Minneapolis, extremely vulnerable. Businesses have been collapsing because their workers, their customers, their communities are in hiding because of a masked police force that believes itself to be unaccountable to the law.
That was part 1 of my conversation with Kris Goldsmith. The rest is over on my Substack page. Please check it out. The link's below. Thanks.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.